Hello and welcome back to another episode here at We Are Konami. I have two special guests, but they're actually going to be our main speakers throughout this season. I have Andre and I have Jerome
Yeah.
with me.
Hello.
For today's topic, we're actually going to be discussing about overcoming morning challenges, and I'm pretty sure most of you can relate to that or have a story to talk about. That being said, I'm going to get started first. Overcoming morning challenges for myself, like I'll be very honest with you guys. I
Mm-hmm.
would say after the pandemic, I had like a huge career change happening just because I was no longer like licensed as an RMT. For those of you who are listening and have no idea who I am, I used to be a registered massage therapist, and because of the pandemic, a lot happened where I had to just take a step back. That being said, like that was me trying to figure out my path all over again. Like, what am I going to do? Do I need to start a new career? Do I need to go back to school? It's just in that moment, so much happened within my personal life as well as my career and finances where I did struggle really hard of just waking up and just overall just starting my morning was the worst. Like I would find myself on my bed for hours or just discouraged to not do anything. If I'm up,
Mm.
I'm sluggish or I'm just not in the mood of doing anything and my day would drag because I had no desires to accomplish any of my tasks or I just felt like I was always in a cycle where I questioned my tasks. The way that I overcame this actually was through our Discord. So here at We Are Konami, we actually have our own Discord server that's been running for about a year, probably a year and a half now. And the only reason why I overcame my little morning funk was just interacting with them in the morning. Either I'm
Mm.
doing rise and shine, I'm causing some type of chaos within our members, for some reason that's what helped me just wake up and be like, all right guys, like I'm just gonna start my day. I feel good. I woke up early, I did my morning routine here on Discord, and yeah, just get up, eat breakfast while everyone else is just getting mad at me for waking them up.
Just leaving the chaos there in the chat and just walking away.
I mean,
Yeah.
it worked because as of lately, well, from then and currently now, I actually have I have a good amount of sleep where I am fully awake by 6:30 or 7 o'clock in the morning. And I don't feel the way that I felt before where I was just unmotivated, perhaps anxious, a little bit depressed. I no longer feel those type of symptoms anymore. Like I'm just happy. Like I'm happy to find this type of community that just pushes me on my day to day.
Hmm.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense. Yeah.
You found a way of changing the way that you looked at your morning routine that made it more positive. I think one point I want to touch on is when I was a kid, I used to have this kind of inertia where I wouldn't want to move from one thing to another. If I was playing in the living room or watching a TV show, I wouldn't want to go to the bath. But once I was in the bath, I was just playing in the water and had my toys and I wouldn't want to get out. So it wasn't so much so that I didn't want to do that thing I'm dreading or that next thing. It's just that there's this imaginary block that makes you feel like it's going to be a big deal. And at this point in my life, I realize almost every single routine or every single thing I do in my day that I initially felt like when I was younger would be, exhausting or anxiety inducing, it's actually no big deal. And I think there's just maybe some people have a kind of anxiety about starting their day because they think things are going to go wrong or because they think, they're not going to succeed in this or that. Instead, you should approach your day with like curiosity and as a project. So it's like, I want to get this, and this done. I want to see how far I've gotten in my fitness routine or whatnot. So to me, starting my day has always been about one thing is making sure I've set up a day that I want to go through, even if I have to do work or chores or school, doing it in a way or having something to reward myself that I'll enjoy afterwards. And also ending my day the right way. Because I can't get to bed if I have too many, chores running in the back of my subconscious, or if I feel like I wasted my day, if I feel like, what, I didn't do enough work, but also all I did is work. If I didn't get a second to sit down and catch up with some friends or laugh at something, just some way to debrief. If
Hmm.
I didn't do that, I also feel like my day was wasted. So you got to end your day the right way as a part of starting your day the right way too, because those are also interconnected.
I actually like that, and especially in the beginning where you were talking about like probably there's something that you're going through that's making it hard for you to get up. And
Hmm.
that right there, it made me instantly remember my experience in high school where getting up from bed and knowing what I was going to face in high school, I was dreading it to the point where my stomach felt very knotted up from just the
Yeah.
anxiety and the nervousness. And if you're
Mm,
wondering, like, why was that happening, it's because back then, I believe I was in grade 11 or grade 12. Like, I was pretty, like, heavily bullied, not physically, but
Mm.
enough where there was just too much rumors happening. If I walk in the cafeteria, it's everybody in my grade. So you just imagine seeing the whole classmates of yours in your grade just looking at you, and you know what they're about to do or what they're about to say. So for me, it was just more of I don't want to get out of my bed. I don't want to do my morning routine because I know what I'm
Mm.
going to have to face when I get to school. So like that for me was super hard.
I mean, that's your social life was completely just like killed because of the kind of group of people you had to look forward to every day, unfortunately.
Yeah, it just it made like a huge turn. Like I would say in high school, everything was going smoothly. Like yes, there were certain instances as I, started to progress at my grades, like from grade 9 to grade 10, like things were okay. Grade 10 and grade 11 was where things were getting a little bit concerning. But
Hmm.
grade 11 through 12 was where it was really just making me anxious, feeling some type of way. Obviously, I didn't share these moments with my parents because you're a teen, you don't think they're going to understand, you'd rather try and solve it yourself, right?
Yeah.
But
mm,
it made it so hard to the point where I didn't know how to tell my mom I can't get up, or it's just hard for me to do what you want me to do to get to school. And like when I tell her like my stomach's knotted up, she would just think it was an excuse, but that's because I never told her what happened. So
Yeah.
again, like when you were saying that perhaps you're going through something and it's making it hard, that's something that made me instantly remember was those moments in high school.
Sometimes our parents don't get it because when they were growing up, life was a little different, a little more stress free. So if a kid in high
exactly.
school didn't want to go to school, it's because they were cutting school. That was it. Like there was no concept of like stress and anxiety and like these just stress disorders and all that ADHD back then.
Yeah,
So
because now, like when you hear a kid doesn't want to go to school, they don't want to go to school because of what they gotta face when they
hundred
go each
percent.
time. And
For
Yeah.
sure.
I've had that moment too, where I legit one day I was just in bed. I didn't go anywhere. It went well past the time I should have been in school. And my mom walked in and said, "Hey, you're supposed to go to school. What's going on? Why are you in bed?" And before it got to a point where she was literally ready to take the belt out, and
Oh my god.
so it was a matter of she saw that like my whole expression was visibly different from just like the typical like, oh, like I just don't
Yeah.
want to go 'cause I want to cut.
Yeah.
I really didn't want to go. And at that point I remember I didn't want to go because already there was a series of events where I felt like I was being hated by my like friends I was surrounding myself with. I didn't want to be around because all these issues popped up. I had, the typical, I'm acting out and I'm feeling very emotional because, I got friends here saying, all these crazy things about me and expecting that I should act one way as opposed to the other, along with the fact that I'm not socially acceptable based on appearance and the like. It was starting to pile up, and I already didn't want to go. She eventually went and called the school. 'Cause I said, "Hey, listen, can I just do homeschool? Like, can I
Hmm.
just do this to get through? Because I
But
can't
did
go
she
back."
agree on that though?
She went and called the school, and the counselor
Hmm.
picked up the phone and decided to talk to me.
So when that happened, like how did you feel after talking to your counselor? Like was your mornings getting a bit better or
Well, it started to. Well, it wasn't anything quick at all, by no means. It was me saying, "Okay, I gotta go to school at least." Like I missed like a good deal of the day. I missed all the way to lunch.
Hmm.
oh wow.
Yeah, I was out, and she spoke with me and said, "Hey, listen, legally, let's just get this out the way first. You cannot do homeschool. There's a lot that goes into it in order for you to apply for that and have
Okay.
that set up. And even then, there is the afterward. The next thing is, if you have any issues you want to talk about, you can always talk with us. You can speak your mind. You
Okay.
can come to school and feel safe.
I mean,
Yeah, like
that's, I think, like, you guys are pointing something important out, which is it could be school, it could be
mm-hmm,
friendships, it could be work. If you have major obstacle in your life that's not letting you get up
Hmm.
and want to, go through your day, whatever that day is, that's not normal. Like, it's okay to have mood swings and an off day here and there, a rainy day, but
mm-hmm,
if your job, if your school, if your social circle, if your friends, if your family, if they're holding you back, eh, holding back your whole like lifestyle, your happiness, and that's keeping you from starting your morning, then that's, you need to do something about it. Like you guys said, reaching out to the counselor, your mother reaching out to the school and connecting you to the counselor. Like, you need to make a difference, even if it's changing schools, what have you.
I know for myself, because I know it's a little bit off topic from what we're saying about morning challenges and stuff, but I feel like perhaps it still relates with it. Like with everything that happened through me from, I would say, around grade 11 and 12 was where it was getting worse. The only way that I overcame my mornings was by just sucking it up and fake confidence, like as if nothing was bothering me.
Hmm.
But like
mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say that solved the problem. It was just something to mask, just to get through it, graduate, and just end whatever little
Yeah.
bubble I was in, you know?
I mean, I think that unfortunately, the best advice for that we might have to give is high school is one of those things where we all just have to knuckle down and just, you know,
I
Yeah,
know. It
yeah,
just
bite
it
the
it
pretty much
bullet.
sucks,
is.
right?
Yeah, because
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
we
not
both know.
forever though. That's the thing. It's not forever. The
I,
social
I think
circles
that's
are
true.
not
Yeah,
forever.
you
The
have to really
people in
remember that.
charge are not going to be in charge in society. Like, like, don't worry. It's not forever, because I think high school is one of those things where you are not yet an adult. You
No.
don't have the
Nope,
control
not at all.
over your life, because as an adult, I can change so many things about my life if I don't like my morning routine, because I don't like where it's taking me in life. But
Mm-hmm.
as a kid, on your way from 14 to 18, you're still a kid and you still don't know so much. You still can't control your life. People control your life. People control your schedule. So if I think almost every one of us can probably, I think, have a story about high school. And I think this is a good lesson to give. Use that high school experience as a way of testing and trying and figuring out how to weather those storms, so in the future you will be able to wake up on those days and go through those kinds of situations. I developed an anxiety disorder in high school, and I used to dry heave a lot. Like, I would throw up but nothing would come out, and I would have panic attacks, like heart racing, thinking I'm about to die all the time. That happened well into like a bit of college. And part of my routine that's changed that is a lot of things about my life, my perspective, but also meditation. So, like, having things like meditation, journaling, stretching, even a
Hmm.
jog, before the sun comes up, Tai Chi, whatever have you. But that meditation, it separates me from the culture, from the society, and from my ego, and it lets me just be a living thing that's breathing and that's understanding the process of life in me and the life around me, the planet and the universe. I mean, it goes a little esoteric, but essentially, you need something to take you out of that, uh, stress, and take
Yeah.
you out of that
Mm-hmm.
self-absorption that these things kind of lock us in.
Yeah, same for me. For me, it was a matter of having to listen to that little voice in my head that said, "You have to get up now and move. Do
Mhm.
not stay here." Because I had it rough as well, like where I just like getting up was just not feasible, and that was all due to just the constant negative emotions coming down on me and not being able to really find a way to remove it from me and just focus on the positives that I do have around me and that all the thought positive things I have done, the good things I've done. I was
Hmm.
just swirled into it because I would try all these things and I would be shut down with negativity. And then that just results into me being in bed, waking up, hearing the alarm, and just putting snooze on it consistently. Now I'm
Mhm.
definitely good. I'm at a good spot in my life where I can definitely, hustle and grind. Like I'm definitely there now and I feel great about it.
Everyone's morning routine has like a layer to it, where obviously it's about what did you eat, when did you sleep, hydration, and all that. But the deeper layer is the fact that we do this every day. Your
Yeah.
morning routine every day, whatever habits you lived through in your childhood, teenage years, work, whatever have you, that kind of grinds like a hammer hitting an anvil day after day after day. So by the time you hit like 30, 40, like the way you feel about the morning might be dictated by a lot of the negative or positive experiences you had before, and you really need to like assess that. Because I mean, if there's a problem with your morning routine, the first thing you have to do is identify what it is. Who knows, it might be with your diet, it might be with your sleep schedule, or it might be a whole lot of stuff you went through before that you never assessed, you know, and you're just kind of still walking with that like emotional limp.
But like for you, Andre, with everything that you also explained as well, and congrats, because you also did say that you're doing a lot better and everything, and that's really good to hear. For the listeners hearing, if you want to be honest, like how long did it take you to get through that funk? And did you ever have to go through a certain cycle over and over and over again? Like what was the process
Ooh.
for you and to get to where you are now?
To be honest, it was on and off for a course of years, if I'm to really be honest, and has only cleared up finally, I would say, just like a few months ago, where I truly am in a place where I feel good and I am good. Like that. That's something that I like to say. Like I'm there now. I'm here. It was such a roller coaster of a ride where like days I'm happy, I'm with friends, and like, I'm just enjoying all these good times I have with people. Then I'm struck down with reality of, oh, I'm not where I wanted to be. I have all these issues going on. I've had these people just in my ear telling me all these negative things where I can't make it in where I want to be. At the time, I was focusing on entertainment. That didn't go well as I thought it would. And not to mention, before all that, before it went downhill, literally had my uncle. This is as we're just on a trip over to visit my other family members. He's like, "You're really doing that? Okay, do that, but you ever thought about something else?" And then you hear that reverberated from another family member again, saying, "This is just not really the field you want to be in. Just reaching and touch that. This is not your kind of game." What did not help was that issues came about where my first project went downhill, didn't take off. It didn't sit well on hearing all that negativity just swarm back in the back of my mind. Of course, when I switch over to IT, they're all ecstatic. They're all, saying all these positive things, but that was not where you were before. You're very hypercritical of me on what I do, and that still sat with me. Friends too. Friends end up telling me, "Oh, maybe you really should reconsider doing this. Coding's not for you." Now here I am coding like a motherfucker. I know so much in regards to coding. I'm not an expert, but sure as hell know enough to get the job done. It's those little achievements that are good and I remember and I hold on to those because telling you, each and every day I woke up, it was a struggle to get out of bed. I did not want to continue the day. There were several times I wanted to call out from work where I just couldn't bear. And I did call to work. Just wanted to tell me exactly what was making me unwell, where I just
Hmm.
couldn't get into work. And that's unacceptable, first of all. Like I'm now calling out of work. I'm now not getting paid. The main thing is always keep positive light in yourself.
From all these trial and errors that you guys have gone through, or just like your life path overall, is there do you guys have several tips you want to give to the listeners that are listening to this episode?
Do not give in to what you hear from friends and family. So do not let that shape you and become you. You gotta remember that what you have done up until your point in life currently is all you. You managed to do what you could for yourself. You succeeded where others may not believe in you. You did it for you and for the betterment of you.
I mean, on my end, I would definitely say make sure your morning routine is centered around your health primarily. So don't just have a morning routine where you hop out of bed at this time and just get ready and rush off to whatever job or school. Make sure
Hmm.
you're waking up and you're doing something, whatever it is. For me personally, it's meditation and stretching. But for different people, it's different things. But you need to do something where when you wake up, you're taking care of your mental and physical health to start the day healthily. You know, like almost every animal
Hmm.
grooms itself when it wakes up. You know, every animal has a small routine to get themselves started, you know, unless they have to run for their life. But as humans, like, we need to definitely debrief and get the brain on like a certain wavelength before we start the day healthily. If we just jump out of bed and just start run right into the whole ruckus of like our daily life,
Hmm.
it it's noisy, you know. And like you said, you have that brain fog and you never really get awake. So like to me, meditation has been like a huge life changer on every level. So find something that helps you get your mind in the right place when you wake up.
So for you guys who are listening, if there's any type of messages you also want to share, like maybe you've also had a challenge of getting up in the morning, or just your morning challenges overall, and you found a way to conquer it, definitely send us a comment or send us an email. Or you can also be like me, where we start some chaos in our Discord server.
Great. Yeah, oh
If you
yeah.
want to join, it's Konami. Come follow Konami if you also want to start the Rise and Shine ruckus. It's every time, 7 or 8 o'clock in the
That
morning.
is true. There's a morning routine. There's a whole parade going on in the chat.
So before we close this little episode, is there anything else you guys want to share?
Um, self-love is the best love. Always remember that, and keep true to yourself.
Like I said earlier, just kind of have try to get yourself in the right mindset because that'll change everything about your routine and lifestyle. You know, approach things more as projects with curiosity instead of as chores with guilt. You know, don't say I have to get up and I have to go to the gym. Instead, think about like, you know what? If I do get up at this time and I do go to the gym this many days,
Exactly.
let's see how strong I get. Let's see how
Hmm.
far I can get. Let's see what I can do. If I failed, okay. If I don't, okay. So if you take the guilt out of it and just put curiosity there instead, I think you can change your routine and your perspective on the things around you.
Both the advices that you guys are giving are really, really, really well thought out and everything. And I respect it. And I wish when I was younger, I was able to hear those things.
Yeah,
But, we have to go through our own trial and errors to be able to do what we're doing right now.
exactly. Yeah,
Hmm.
you got to figure it out yourself sometimes, no matter how many times you hear it.
But yeah, no, this was dope. I had fun.
Yeah, that was great.
This is good. I'm happy for us.
This went well.
Alrighty. So that
Woo!
being said, we are done. Episode 2 is now done. Follow us
In
on
the
in our
books.
Konami server, Discord server, Konami, or Instagram, also known as We Are Konami. Same with TikTok and YouTube. Just basically follow our tag, We Are Konami, and you'll see us everywhere.
Drop that
But yeah,
follow.
we'll catch you
Join
guys next
us.
time.
Peace.
Bye.
Later.
Bye.